In Yobe State, northeast Nigeria, the effect of the decade-long conflict has caused loss of thousands of lives, displacement, loss of infrastructure and livelihood means and opportunities across communities. The conflict and its ripple effect had positioned Nigerians amongst the most hit and in need of humanitarian and early recovery interventions. With support from the European Union, BRICC Co, in a consortium with Cooperazione Internazionale and Danish Refugee Council, implemented the Building Resilience in Complex Crisis Programme in 30 communities across Damaturu, Potiskum, Geidam, Gulani, and Gujuba local government areas. The BRICC program offered a context-appropriate, holistic and blended package of interventions, which met early recovery needs and enhanced social protection in the immediate term. It also strengthened individual, household and community capacities, livelihoods and their support market, and conflict mitigation systems in the long term.
In Yobe State, over 12,000 plus households were able to receive our unconditional cash transfer. We have 1,070 participants who actually benefited from the BRICC program conditional cash transfer, and also ensure that these assets are being monitored by our partners, government stakeholders across all these communities where we work. Also, our local structures which are established in all these communities are carried along, which are called the Community Resilience Group, the CRGs.
What they do is to help instill that sustainability aspect in the community. They cut across every space of the community leaders, religious leaders, minority tribe, disabled. We do disability inclusion in our programming. We ensure that we had a session separately for all the participants, championed by the CRGs and community leaders in the action planning session. It is that session that comes up with a robust document, a detailed plan that is called the sustainability plan. Now we have community assets. So part of these community assets were the renovation of classroom, borehole we dug. You find out that in most times when you don't have a robust sustainability plan, you return back 3 months, 6 months later, and all of these nice assets provided for the community to benefit from are dilapidated.
In Yobe, since April 2019, BRICC has built the adaptability of over 20,000 vulnerable households of 30 target communities across the target local government areas by securing their immediate recovery needs and most especially restore and improve livelihoods that are resilient to conflict and ecological shocks and stress.
Gaskiya na ji daɗi da irin taimakon da na samu saboda ni ma da ina ɗaya daga cikin mutanen wanda kawai suna zaune a unguwa ne ba su da aikin yi, to amma yanzu ni ma ina aiki. Da ba mu san komai ba, amma da yake yanzu mun zo muna yi da mazajen mu ma muna jin daɗin shi, saboda haka mun gode, saboda haka sun kai mana tallafi kuma yan Mexico nan. Da yaran mu ba su da abin sana'a da mazajen mu duka, amma da yake yanzu suna shiga suna fitan nan. So a duka suna mana tallafi, mun gode.
The BRICC project supported the government in the development of the social protection policy. BRICC, in its social protection intervention, provided unconditional cash to over 26,875 poor and vulnerable households in its target communities. It also built the capacity of smallholder farmers to improve agricultural practices and provided agro inputs to boost their productivity. Talatu Magaji is among many beneficiaries empowered with livestock to help expand income for her family.
Ta taimaka mana sosai, da ka muna cikin kunci, amma yanzu ta mana taimako 100% har ga Allah. Ko saboda adashen nan ma da muke muna samun karuwa. Maimakon abin da zaka je ka nema baka samu ba, a yau a yanzu ba sai ka je gurin wani ba, zaka iya ka zo a cikin akwatin ka, zaka karba ka je ka rufe asirin kanka, ka dan yi jarin ka zo ka juya ka dawo da shi.
Youths were also trained in vocational and entrepreneurship skills in 17 trades such as tailoring, automobile mechanics, among others. This training was implemented in collaboration with the National Directorate of Employment. BRICC also supported vocational skills training institutions like the College of Agriculture, National Directorate of Employment, Ministry of Women Affairs, and the Business and Engineering Skills Training Center with equipment. Like many youths, Danladi Abdullahi received support for his shoemaking business. This has boosted his income, which has helped him employ more hands in the trade.
Kafin na fara yin wani abun ina bukatar tallafi da yawa ban samu ba, amma ta sanadin wannan abun da ya zo shi na samu ci gaba sosai wanda na samu na gyara waje da ina yi ga generator na siya ga inji na siya na takalma ga sunan maza na maza da na mata hakan nan dukan su muna yi. Yanzu abun da ya rage mun ina bukatar wasu abubuwa da kamar irin su keken dinki hakan nan wanda na rinka yi sakamakon ba da sai na tashi na je wajen wani na dan ko na biya amma ina da shi duka insha Allah ba wani abun da zamu ce dai sai dai mu ƙara Allah godiya mu ƙara gode wa wannan kungiya da ta kawo wannan tallafi ake taimakawa jama'a dai mu ce Allah ya ƙara karfafa ta.
Other intervention of the BRICC program includes support in rehabilitation and construction of community rehabilitation projects like water points, community town halls, school decks, health facilities, among others in various communities.
National Director of Employment, his main mission is to see that when we were created in 1987 was to take care of the unemployed school leavers when the employment rate was a bit high among the school leavers. Presently, we have also not much of school leavers alone, but also our graduates are there unemployed.
The youth entrepreneurship where we're training youth on skills, and based on the assessment and survey that was done, we had 17 skills that were identified for the program by the different stakeholders. Over 6,000 youth that we have trained in this program. And then the third one is on agriculture support, small livestock and seed and input, where we supported farmers.
They said an idle mind is a devil workshop. So you find that without such type of skills given to people, something that they can rely on, that can give them what to live on. Now that we have this, people will be able to have something that they treasure and they can be able to transfer and which they can monetize to improve their living condition.
So the key turning point was the acceptability by the stakeholders and also the commitment of the beneficiaries to implement the interventions and the flexibility of the program to adapt to the context, to adapt to the needs of the communities, and to ensure that whatever we are done, it's in the greater plan of Yobe State. So that was the key turning point. So we managed to have very good successes in different thematic areas.
This project is going to be of great importance to us, and by doing this, we have started sending some of our technical staff out to be able to gain more knowledge to impact on what we are desiring to deliver.
One important thing to note is the implementation for BRICC was really impressive. So you'll note that all the interventions, for example, the serving groups, we are now linking them to government institutions that are providing grants and loans. So that will ensure that those people will move on. The youth and serving groups, they now know where to access both their skills, they have certificates to do the business. For the infrastructure that we are doing, like the institution like the vocational training, we'll have the relevant department utilizing it and making sure that they provide the maintenance and the budget for it.
The Building Resilience in Complex Crisis Recovery Program is funded by the European Union and implemented by Mexico in consortium with Danish Refugee Council and Cooperazione Internazionale and Yobe State government.